Welcome to this first in a series of videos on how to play this most intriguing class of ships, the battleships. We will start with the basics, the armor and the armament, i.e. the stuff that shoots. So let's deal with the armor first. Your armor comes in two parts. One is the physical armor, which is laid around the entire ship, protecting mainly the citadel. Now think of the citadel as the portion protecting from the forward gun to the rearmost gun. Consider that a big box that you want to protect. That's where you've got the thickest armor. And you've got your deck armor, and you've got the armor on the bow and on the stern, which is somewhat less thick. The other part of your armor is of course your hit points, and battleships have increasing amounts of hit points as you go up the tiers, and that is the second part, of course, combined with your repairs. You could of course consider your ability to maneuver and turn yourself a piece of your armor as well, certainly a piece of your defensive measures, and certainly angling your ship to maximize the effect of armor is a huge factor, but we'll get back to that. Now let's move on to armament. That is how you use a battleship gun. As with most of the ships, the battleships have got primary armament, which is your big caliber turrets. You've got secondary armament, which is your low range, rapid firing, highly inaccurate at the moment anyway, guns to defend yourself from I'm not sure, and then of course your AA armament. But here's the trick: the high caliber, high shell weight, low velocity, low reload battleship guns are the only guns in the game who can reliably penetrate same lower and higher tier battleships, and that's what you want to do. You notice I've just shot 2 Citadels hits into this battleship here, and that's the zone you want to be in. You want to aim well, we'll get to aiming in a little bit, and you want to hit the most heavily armored portion of the battleship. Yes, that sounds counterintuitive, opposite to what you do to a tank, but here you want to hit the most heavily armored part, which is the citadel. You want to penetrate it, and you want to do critical damage on the inside. So let's move on to how we actually do that. In order to reliably hit where you want to hit, you need to understand how to lead and how to manipulate the vertical adjustment of the gun, and you need to be shooting the right ammunition type. So let's look at how that works. This ship was at 90% hit points before we started shooting at it, and yeah, I think this speaks for itself. So when you get aiming right, this is what happens. So let's look at a series of aiming exercises. Trick shot to start with. There's a Cleveland, he's far away. I'm shooting HE. And boom. There we go. Next up, let's have a look at this here battleship. I'm leading it by about 5. One thing you want to do is you want to turn on alternative UI in the settings. There you go, leading it by 4, because you can see the timer says 5 and it's a battleship, so it's a bit slower. Boom. There we go. That's how you do it. Alright then, let's try something a bit further away. You see, the important thing is to look at the timer that measures your flight time and compare that to your horizontal bar. And the timer for a battleship is just about right. If the timer says 5 seconds, then you put it on about 4, assuming he's going in a direction 90 degrees on your direction, or your aiming direction as it were. If it's a cruiser, it's about double what the timer says. So if the timer says 5 seconds, you want to put it around 10 maybe 8. And this is the kind of well, anyway, that's how I do it, and as you can see from this, it is rather effective. Now, I shoot AP on just about everything except destroyers and carriers. Destroyers are very susceptible to HE, not so much to AP. It will just pass straight through without doing any damage. So that's really it for aiming. It comes with practice, but make sure you've got yourself set up for alternative battle mode, and then start using the horizontal gauge and compare that to ship type and where he's moving for away from you, towards you, and so on. Let's move on then, and let's talk about the map and then angling. Look, you've all seen the minimap. You can press M, you get a big map. Look at it. Look at where the enemy is. Look at where you're at. Predict where the enemy is going to be, and look at where you're going, and make sure that that kind of makes sense. Now, this is down to intuition and tactical common sense, which I cannot teach you in the matter of the 5-10 minutes of this video. But if you're in a battleship and you are all by yourself, then you're probably doing it wrong. Let's start with that. If you are a cruiser, for example, and you see a battleship by himself and the enemy has a carrier, maybe you should go and help him with some air cover, or maybe he's an idiot and you should leave him to die. I don't know, I can't tell you that, but either option is indeed viable. Let's move on to angling. You've probably noticed the shooting I've been doing on this lone battleship, and you will notice how I've been consistently angling my ship so that I'm at a 30 to 40 degree angle towards him. Now, this works in the same way as it does in World of Tanks. By angling your armor, you increase the effective amount of armor a shell will have to penetrate. Now, this only works for the side armor, so it's only shells hitting the side armor. It doesn't really work for your deck armor, so you know, just be aware of that. Don't get all frustrated if people drop plunging fire on you like that, and it does penetrate no matter how angled you are. But this player is really good. You can see how he is not really giving me a broadside, and you, if he took out my turret. If you've seen the aiming section of this video, you've seen how easily I citadel hit both battleships and cruisers and so on, and this guy's not giving me the chance to do that. I don't think I'll get a single citadel hit in this engagement, but it's a very good engagement, and he is a very good player. You see, he comes close, but still he's angled at about 20 degrees, and it just doesn't do what it needs to do. He's firing back. I'm of course angled as well. Do you see, this is a full broadside from a New Mexico, and I'm in a New Mexico, which by the way is a fantastic ship. If you don't have it, get it and keep it. You will love it. But again, you see, I'm shooting, but all I can do is I can hope for a plunging shell to penetrate and create an HMS hood out of him, but it's not really happening. He caught a bit of luck destroying one of my turrets there temporarily, but it's back up. My aiming isn't all that good, I must say, in this engagement, but he is clearly as capable. I was about to say he's a good player. I don't know. He's as capable as I am, whether that's good or bad. And I took a big hit there. Let's see. I've now got my 2 sets of guns firing at different intervals. So this, when this hits, he may just give me a broadside. Yeah, he's doing it. So here's my chance. Fire now, and as there you go, it's perfect. He's coming full broadside on, but I was leading him too much. Otherwise, that could have been the citadel hit that won us the game. And now he's just reloading. We'll see. I'm keeping myself angled. He might be, no, he's shooting. He might have been waiting for me to reveal my broadside, but I'm not doing it. He's still slowly wearing me down, but he's now near to the edge, and that means that he can't keep angling as he has done. So he is most likely going to go for a close engagement and get it over with quickly, because of course this is painful for him. Now he's down to a 1-hit kill, and we'll see. if I can get that one hit in. I'm still nicely angled. Everyone's spent all of their repairs. Well, I've certainly spent all my repairs. And this is so close. All I need is one penetrating hit. He's coming up at a 90-degree angle. This is my chance. Come on. Turn the ship a little bit and fire. That should be a guaranteed penetration and kill. And he turns just in time. Damn it. He should have been dead here. He's so lucky. But anyway, I certainly have the advantage at this point. So unless he catches an immense amount of luck, he will be dead. But you can see the expert angling and how the battle's been going on for, what, 5-6 minutes just between the two ships here. And he puts me on fire. Let's put that out. Again, this should be a guaranteed kill, but he is very, very well angled. So it's not really doing it. Secondaries start firing now, and that is just a bad miss on my part. He's still alive. Unbelievably so. It's a good fight. I just need that reload. But you can see just by angling cleverly how he has drawn this out way beyond where he should have. He should have been dead some time ago. Come on, shoot. And no, it all just bounces off him. Shoot again. No, we're going to get the ram. So there you go. That was a great fight. So that's what angling does for you. Now, let's put all of that together, understanding the armor, the armament, the map, the angling, the leading, all of that. Let's put it together and have a look at a battle I fought some time ago. Here's a pesky cruiser. Let's see what we can do about that. 12 shells out, and smack. Yeah, he didn't like that one bit. So this is on Two Brothers, right? And the way the game unfolded was I spent the first 5 minutes just running in circles, trying to go to the east. Then someone went down through the central channel, and then they broke down through our western flank, and I kind of had to go back and cover the cap. And now everyone's shooting at me, and it's really not very pleasant. Okay, so you didn't learn your lesson the first time, did you? Putting me in fire, eh? Putting me in fire? I should payment for that.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Oh, more shooting. Shoot me more, will you? Bastards. I'll get you back. Let's see, as soon as I just turn my guns around, we'll find something worthwhile shooting at. And you'll notice that I'm turning, you know, I'm not just turning enough to get my guns on them. I'm actually overturning to get myself angled and accepting that I'm then going to spend a little more time turning my guns back into place. There is some time to be saved by turning your guns into place before you're turning. So you point your cursor at where at the angle you want the guns to be at when you're done turning. And that means that your guns will be turning throughout the turn. And it helps you a little bit, wins you a couple of seconds to get guns on target. Not sure I explained that well, but you know, if I didn't, then leave a note in the comments and I'll try again. Alright, so he's moving away. I am aiming, of course, to the right, but a little bit above the center line to try and get these shots on him. But he pulls a Moses on the last one and then catches a torpedo with his face. Not generally considered a wise thing to do, by the way. Okay, Battleship. Nice and slow. He's turning away from me. As he does so, he's reducing his speed. So you see how I wasn't going for the full 4 seconds here. Lead time, I was getting a bit close to him. No Citadel hits though, but yeah. Enough to make it worth my while. You see how everything just kind of bounces off me because I'm angled at a 45-degree both at the guy shooting me from the northwest and the guy shooting me from the southwest. So it's close to perfect positioning at this point. Let's see. That should sneak in a citadel hit, shouldn't it? Ah, a bit too high. There we go. So this is the other thing. If you hit the superstructure, you won't get citadel hits. Unless, of course, you're doing plunging shell fire. But at this kind of range, you want to hit just above the waterline. That's the perfect place to hit. In the center, where they will break. And if you didn't get that reference to the movie... Oh, nice. There's another citadel. If you didn't get that reference to the movie Gettysburg, shame on you. Go watch Gettysburg. You've been missing out. There we go. Smack. I am wrecking people with citadel hits in this game. Absolutely wrecking them. So anyway, let's take a look at the post-game stats. 300,000 credits, 3,000 XP, 3 kills, a bunch of citadel hits. Top of the list. Oh yes, and a Confederate medal as well. Only 103,000 damage, but then I spent most of the time just wandering around aimlessly. Anyway, until next time, stay frosty.